Hello, welcome to Lab 4, Oscillations. I'm Megan. Today I'm going to be talking about option 2, which is the exported video, which has already been made and I'm really just tracking. And as you can see from the x versus time graph, there's oscillation in the x direction. And as you can see by this y versus time graph, there's also oscillation in the y direction, which is pretty cool. And here's all my data that I gathered from Tracker, which I then created into the CSV file and put into my Glow script to create the graphs that we're going to be seeing in the end. And so to create this Glow script, I started by using the force of gravity equation and the force of spring equation, which of course if you integrate them, you get the energy for gravity and the energy for spring. And obviously you can see in my F graph, this is only in the y direction. My F spring, I use Ks, which I calculate down here using the mass of the ball as well as the period of the ball. And then I also use L hat, which is calculated down here using L divided by the magnitude of L. And then I add the two of those together to create F net, and then using momentum principle, Newton's second law, integrated and then scrambled around a bit, you get these updating equations for velocity and position. And then down here I did my energy equations, and I didn't write out the equation for kinetic energy. However, that is 1/2 the mass of the ball times the magnitude of the velocity of the ball squared. And so then I created the deltas for each of the energies using K and then K, the new K. And then I calculated the energy for gravity using mass times the G constant times the height of the ball, which is just position Y. The potential energy of the spring was calculated using 1/2 Ks times S squared. And then I added them all together to get the total energy. And these are my energy graphs. As you can see, the experiment as modeled in red, these are what I found in Tracker, and you can see by the kinks in the curve that they actually do match up, which is pretty cool to see. And obviously there is a little bit of error in both the x and y direction, there being more error in the x direction. And this is probably due to percent error, which can be chalked up to forces interacting with the system, which we didn't account for, which could be drag or force of like air conditioning or resistive forces going on in the air. But that's okay. Then we look over to our change in energy graph, and as you can see, there's oscillation from every aspect of the graph, meaning that there is just one total energy that is being conserved throughout this experiment. And I answered that in these questions. My graph on the previous slide, this is question 1 by the way, my graph on the previous slide shows a clear oscillation representing the fact that it follows the energy principle. Furthermore, on the aforementioned graph, delta E oscillates around 0, meaning that the energy in the model is conserved. Because of this, no energy is gained or lost in the system. At question 2, if estimating the period of the x position, I would get about 1.185 seconds per oscillation. If estimating the period from the y position, I would get about 1.136 seconds per oscillation. There is a slight difference, however, it shouldn't cause much skewing due to the briefness of their interval. And this concludes my lab. Thank you so much.